Hi everyone, welcome to Fat to Thin Senior RNY. I'm Raven. I'm 76 years old and I have had gastric bypass surgery on December 16, 2019. Medicaid approved the surgery. And last week I talked about this coming new year and what my plans were for this year. In this vlog I'll be talking about this past week, my time in the hospital again. Soft foods I've been eating and the discovery of some new tastes. If you're curious, please join me on this journey. Continue to watch and please comment below. A couple of weeks ago, I started the liquid diet. Well, 3 weeks ago. Actually, 4 weeks ago, I started a liquid diet. And I have not been feeling hungry. In fact, I feel full all the time. I mean, really full all the time. For the last 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, I've been back and forth to the urgent care and whatnot. This past Tuesday, I ended up in the emergency room, and they kept me overnight. They said all of my electrolytes were very, very low. So, today, I'm feeling really great. Pretty much, anyway. I've been forcing myself to try and eat some real food, no more protein shakes. I don't think I could put another protein shake up to my mouth without barfing, you know. It doesn't matter what kind, what brand, it's just horrible. I have thought about, but haven't done yet, sprinkle some unflavored protein powder on various and sundry foods. But I haven't done that yet. I've just been stay away from the protein powder for a few days and see what happens after that. I think I'm overdosed on protein powder and my body doesn't want it, it wants food. I'm about 2-3 weeks behind in the types of food I'm eating. I had clear liquids for 2 days after surgery, and when they released me from the hospital I was on full liquids. You know, that's thicker stuff. And then they said a week after that I could go to start eating regular foods. Well, as it turns out, my body doesn't like a lot of stuff. It definitely doesn't care for meat in general. I don't meat or fish, any of those. It just gets stuck and then I start throwing up. I had a piece of hamburger meat yesterday morning. It was a dumb thing to do. Anyway, I had this hamburger meat and I ate about an ounce of it. I chewed and 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 chewed some more. But my body didn't like it. So I started throwing up about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I was still throwing up about 5 o'clock at night, which means I didn't eat or drink anything in between 10 and 5. And I was just, it was terrible and painful, you know. Try not, remind yourself, Raven, not to do that again, okay? Just don't do that again. That's just not cool. And so I'm about 2 weeks or so behind in what I should be eating. But meat in general is not making it. So I put up some tofu this morning. I made 4 different kinds of teriyaki, barbecue. You know, I put it into marinade. So I'm going to air fry them or something with them later on today, tomorrow, whenever. So in order to try and get the protein in that way, I'm still eating cottage cheese. I'm still doing hummus, that kind of stuff. And that kind of stuff is staying down fine. Beans even, in general, are staying down as long as they're really soft. It's just that meat in general, like, my body isn't liking it at all. Anyway, I told you last week that I was going to pick up the home monitoring kit. It turns out, I thought it was just for me, but as it turns out, it's a study being done at my, medical group. And there's about 300 people participating in this. And so every morning they give you everything to do it, you take your blood pressure, your oxygen, your weight, and your glucose level, and it sends all of this information from the scale and everything into the wherever via Bluetooth. What I didn't care about, and I almost turned it down for, was that this is a year-long process. But then again, I mean, I got some strange stuff going on with my body, so it wouldn't hurt to know this information, So that's that. As for other things like my butt, which I was surprised, because at that point I had lost like 18-20 pounds, and I didn't expect my butt to start bothering me for at least 50 pounds, figuring, you got to have a skinny butt to feel the bones in your butt hurting. But that wasn't the case. My butt was hurting. It was hurting big time. But I have a daughter who sent me one of those purple double cushion thingies, and it is wonderful. It came this morning. I've been sitting on it for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. It is wonderful. I mean, really good. Doesn't hurt at all. And then, of course, having another daughter, I have a bunch of those kind of people. She sent me, as my Christmas gift, a 𝗏𝒃𝒍𝒊𝒂𝒕𝒆 water filter. Oh my God. I knew when I used to live in New Hampshire that I was a water snob, because where I lived we had an artesian well, and they didn't have to do anything to that water. It was just delicious. Well, 𝗏𝒃𝒍𝒊𝒂𝒕𝒆 is better. So I'm really a water snob now. I mean, this is terrible. I don't even bother to put it in the refrigerator to cool it down. I mean, I drink it room temperature. It's delicious. Absolutely terrific. And the water that we have here at this park, it's full of calcium. In fact, almost everybody in the neighborhood buys filtered water. And even the filtered water doesn't taste as good as the 𝗏𝒃𝒍𝒊𝒂𝒕𝒆 filtered water. I mean, terrific. Absolutely terrific. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it, as you could tell. Anyway, it's really worth raving about. It's worth looking into, Well, anyway, because of 𝗏𝒊𝒄𝒄𝒁, I have to walk twice a day. I missed a bunch of days because of the dizziness and the weakness and stuff like that. But I walked him this morning at 6:30, and it was beautiful outside. Absolutely gorgeous. And cold, but beautiful, And to continue on, I looked up the marathon at the Grand Canyon. I really don't believe that I can run the Grand Canyon Marathon this year. Even though I found training from couch to potato in 24 weeks, 26 weeks, I don't know that I could actually literally eat enough to support me running 26 miles. So I looked at a 5K race, that's 3-point-something miles, in the Grand Canyon, and they have half marathons and 5Ks. It's $40 for registration, which is not bad. And I think I might be able to do that because my doctor recommends that we not do any kind of hard exercise other than walking for the first 3 months. I got a bad case of the hiccups, which in my book means stop eating, And the race isn't until November 7th. So I figure 3 months, and I'm 2 weeks behind on food. I should be able to do the 5K without any problems. So I'm going to register for that. And maybe next year I'll do the marathon. See how the food goes, right? Anyway, 𝗏𝒊𝒄𝒄𝒁, this is a 𝗏𝒊𝒄𝒄 report. 𝗏𝒊𝒄𝒄 is still skittish. He's not as bad as he was. I can put my hands out now and he'll come over. But he looks at me kind of funny. You know, he's got to make a decision. He's going to come over first. But because I was in the hospital overnight, the woman who gave him to me came back to get him because he won't allow anybody else in the house. He recognizes her, but nobody else can come in. And I knew he had to go out. He had to go out. He had to go out, period. You know. And I didn't want him in the house all by himself all night long. So she took him overnight. When she brought him back, he was not happy. He tried to block her from leaving the house. I had to totally distract him so that she could sneak out, you know. And he wasn't happy about that. He stayed over near the front door and he whimpered a little bit and he smelled the door and that kind of stuff. And then it was like all of a sudden, oh, well, she isn't coming back. So he came over to me and sat down and put his head on my lap. I guess he wasn't too disturbed, you know, who knows. I didn't know, you know, dogs are strange people. As far as my body goes, I'm down 21.25 pounds or something like that in 4 weeks. My incisions are all healed. My stomach is still not too happy with food. I'm eating smaller and smaller meals, but I'm trying to get more of them in. I'm also trying to recognize when am I full? When have I had enough, you know? And I've got to stop eating just before that. One of the things they said is that your nose will run or you'll get the hiccups or something like that. I have to learn to stop just before that happens. And I haven't gotten it yet, you know, so I've got to stop because just throwing up and it's feeling sick all day long because I ate too much and I got a lump sitting up here or over here or up in here somewhere. Is a terrible thing, you know. So this is a short one. To sum it up, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a lot better. If I didn't have this magnesium problem, I'd be on top of the world. And actually, I feel pretty good anyway, even with the magnesium problem. Or the potassium problem. I just need to make sure that I'm getting enough potassium in, but not too much, because too much is bad too, you know. And I actually bought myself bananas, even though I might be okay with them now. I never was really crazy about bananas, but except banana bread. You know, it's like oatmeal, you know, I can't stand oatmeal, but I love oatmeal cookies, or at least I used to anyway. So that's it. I'm doing great. I'm feeling great. And as far as I can see, the way my clothes are trying to fall off me, I'm beginning to look great. You know? So that's it. Please like, please share, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Don't forget to check the descriptions below. There's some interesting stuff in the description below about the marathons through the Grand Canyon. And take care of yourselves, and blessed be.